Almost all the athletes have also climbed for 3 hours today. They have to put up with a huge crowd, like really loud music, and the pressure, of course.
Final round.
So before the finals round, all the athletes go into isolation. Isolation is like a separate area, closed off from the rest of the audience, closed off from the route, so the climbers can't see what boulders they're about to do. They can't speak to anyone in the audience, so it's just them in a section of the gym or at World Cups, in a completely different building sometimes, to make sure that people stay isolated. You're not allowed any phones or anything with internet access while you're in isolation, so it's just you and the other athletes. Some athletes will have like super old school MP3 players that they'll listen to, which are pretty hard to find now. MP3 players that don't have internet connection is pretty hard. So then they'll come out one at a time, going back into isolation after their boulder. Climbers will talk about the climbs in some instances if they're friendly, otherwise other climbers won't if they're being competitive. It just kind of depends on the climbers that you get in isolation.
Any particular strategies coming into the finals tonight?
I was the only one who didn't climb today, so I should have that one up on them, but I don't know what difference that'll really make. We'll see.
Yeah, any warm-up strategies?
Don't do too much of it, eh? It's like, I don't know, I find you, when you warm up for a finals, you often warm up a bit more than you usually would, so try not to do anything too different to what I usually would, just a little, don't overdo it. It's easy to overdo it. You see everyone climbing and you get excited.
I'm expecting probably a mixture of things. Hopefully lots of cramps. Probably not going to happen. I'm expecting maybe some coordination, dyno-y stuff, and hopefully it's a good mix. Strategy, don't have one. Hope for the best.
I'm hoping for some great climbs, and my strategy would be to win.
We heard you may have lent some holds to the gym, so do you think there's going to be a little bit of an advantage if you get to pull on those?
Oh, I don't think it should be any more of an advantage. They're in a couple of the gyms, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got them. Yeah.
And how are you feeling physically and mentally coming into this challenge?
It's a late night. It's really late, but lots of coffee. I think will get us all through.
Ready and sleeping.
Sleepy? Did you have a Red Bull?
No, I decided against it for the sake of my heart. Right. May live to regret it. It's fine.
So, open air round, the whole concept behind it is we know the athletes, we know them really well, so we wanted to tailor a round that is specifically for them, so something that actually tests and give us as a result the best climber. So we are going to try to test them in all the disciplines. We want to see how good they are in slab balancing, how good they are reading beta, how good they are in barely and powerful moves, how good they are in coordination. So I think it ended up being a super good round because you need to be an overall climber to succeed. It's not that just by having one quality or one skill you would be able to top out 4 of the climbs. You really need to manage to control all the skills.
get back into isolation. Mia and Corey, get ready. You're going to be out very shortly. Brushes, Roy and Henry. We would be nowhere without them. Just absolute salt of the earth, those two. Give it up for Corey Cook and Mia Weeder. Facing your judges, your timer is up on the side of the moon board. You can start climbing now.
Excited to see how they go. Elle, you've climbed with Corey a lot. Is this his style? Is this going to suit him?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. He's generally suited to pretty steep stuff, but I'm excited to see what happens. Corey making his way to the zone. And Riley has had an outfit change. He is dressed for the occasion. Chase making his way through that first
The idea
move.
behind this climb was to make the males feel uncomfortable climbing outside of essentially their size of box. So they started off quite jammed into these two features.
Now Ben's known for his dynamic skills and his jumping ability.
So the other thing about the start is we had these two blocks features almost blocked. There was a bit of confusion about how you could legally start the climb and whether a hand jam was acceptable as to be touching the two features. But the intended was essentially these elevator doors, creating compression between those two features. So from the elevator doors, you would transition down into that undercling and flip the hands. And again, then you've got your 2 points of compression on those features. Then to drive by to the next feature.
Secured the zone, no problem. Looking to mantle up.
Too easy. 20, this is not a move you want to rush, but I think he's going to get it. And a top.
Looking to secure that last hold. There we go.
The process of 4 minutes to do a comp boulder, there's a lot of strategy involved in those 4 minutes. Most of the time, competitors will jump right on and not waste any time. Most competitors, on average, will take like 2 to 4 attempts on a boulder. They can't really do much more in 4 minutes unless it's a really low percentage like dyno straight off the ground, where they might be able to give it like 20 attempts like we see Merla doing at the start of the women's Open 8 boulder. But yeah, they usually only have 2 to 4 really good attempts in them. So they've got to strategize when they're going to use them, and it's 4 flat now, it's not even 4 plus, so they've got to be able to be like, all right, I'm going to do this boulder. I can do this boulder in 20 seconds. So in the last 30 seconds, that's when I'm going to get on and give it my last attempt. With a whole audience watching, it's pretty daunting and stressful.
And she sticks it. Super smooth. I think she'll have no problem with the top.
Latches last hold
it.
and a top for Mia.
Whoa.
Chooses not to come into
Static
double
method.
Gastons.
So strong.
Taking a second to come back to the
And
shot.
this is it.
Try
This is the
something
best
else.
beta. And a top for Judith.
So after you finish your first boulder, or really any boulder, you kind of got to axe it from your mind. It can't stay in your head anymore. You've got to completely, no matter how you did on it, you've got to completely cut it off. That boulder's nothing now. Everything is focused on that next boulder, which can be hard sometimes when you're going back into isolation and there's a bit of strategy at play from the other competitors trying to figure out how you did on a boulder when maybe you didn't do that well, and you really need to work in the next 15 minutes before you go back out to your next boulder and getting your head in place for that next boulder. And you might be emotional and you got to reel it all back in 10 minutes and then just continue performing your absolute best, which I guess is the hallmark of a really good athlete, people that can control their emotions during a finals round.
So I set women's boulder 2. The intention with that one was to make a more dynamic catch.
Now I could be wrong, but I believe Mia might be Australia's speed climbing champion.
Okay, so the first move was a spring to a double-handed catch, almost to an undercling and a good left hand. And it's almost a step, you step through, and to catch the move well, if you step on the left foot, then the catch becomes easier. If not, then it's very bicep-y.
Oh! Oh! And Merla sticks it! That was so impressive. Really not her style.
And Merla through the zone again, making her way to these side pulls.
Come on, Merla. Her fingers are incredibly strong.
10 seconds, Merla.
Oh, she's gonna run out of time. She's gonna run out of time. Come on, Merla. Oh!
And sadly, time. These lens feet are just so much worse than they look.
As soon as you start sweating and losing your chalk, the hands just feel terrible. Can she get her first top of women's too?
Onto some almost, like, not barely crimps really, they're just kind of edges, like, slow to the edges.
Come on, Siobhan.
Looking for that back foot.
Oh, yes! Needs to get her foot into the dish, ideally.
Maybe now she can turn around a little bit. Oh.
You feel like she deserves that one. And Mackenzie on the pink lenses, one of our youth competitors. Super impressive to make finals in the open category.
And Mackenzie presses through.
That was crazy.
Secures the zone without coming out left. Can she make this a top?
She's got 17 seconds to finish this. It is going to be tight. Come on, Mackenzie. Oh! Super close to Mackenzie. If she figured out early, she would have got it.
And just so good for her to secure that zone. Very important in that boulder, I think.
Still waiting for our first top of women's.
Judith looking for some press beta, similar to Mackenzie, I think. Just trying to bypass that whole left side.
And she's done it.
Definitely using the zone hold now.
Oh.
So I set men's boulder 2 for Open A. The holds were the black snap holds, dual text borrowed from ICT, I think. And so Fab, our head setter, gave me the brief to set a climb that was all about frustration, foot slips, really sort of technical slab climbing, and the holds were perfect for that.
Now when you ask me what style was Corey's, I'm not sure, and I'm not biased, but it's probably not slab.
So yeah, you do sort of a mantle to get stood up on the starting holds, and then begins the foot slips and frustration. So you do some balancey, leaning across move, keep the pressure on your feet, pop out to the zone, which we didn't think that was that hard, but they actually seem to struggle with it quite a bit. And then came what was probably the hardest bit, which is palming off of the zone hold and the hold next to it, getting your weight up and sort of just scrabbling, getting your feet up, really flexible move. Really, the holds are really bad, but they sort of made it look easy. They cruise it actually. And then again, we're back to the foot slips and frustration at the top. It's a traverse back left to the finish hold. And it took most of them a lot of time to get up to there. So they were really running out of time at this point.
Oh! And he peels off.
Needs to keep it together, get that left foot out. Oh, his feet just slip away. Come on!
10 seconds! Awesome work from your team!
Liam back to his high point, hopefully feet staying on.
Oh, Liam!
And just drops the second.
Mel's got really good control on this boulder here.
And Mia also just dropping that move to the second last hold, both athletes at the same time.
And Merla's got the zone.
Palming down on the dual text. Pop the foot up, very impressive.
Beautiful climbing by Merla. Oh, I reckon we've got a top. Oh!
Foot just slipping as she goes to match that hold.
And they're climbing, and Siobhan has moved past it. She's got where no one else has got. She's got a top. The end. There she goes. There we go. Pushing up all the way. Come on, Mackenzie.
go, there it is. I think she's got it from here, and she tops it. Woo!
Awesome work from Mackenzie.
Beautiful climbing, nice and top of the 10.
And she's probably one of the taller women athletes as well, and definitely just flagging that foot out. She definitely did not intend to do that. There we go.
There we go, beautiful.
So in Open A round, I set it the blue climb, that it was boulder number 3 with Jeremy. The concept behind this climb was to bring a bit of outdoor climbing inside. So we wanted to test a bit like that raw power, finger strength, pin strength. And also we wanted to create a climb that you had only 2 good shots on it, that it was so powerful and demanding that if you were falling on the top beat one time, you had 1 more shot and then you would be completely pumped and you didn't have anything else to try. Started with some under cleans, then you went to a sort of slopey crimp and you have to cut to a gaston, and then you traverse a bit further right, and then you had a crux that was hitting a crimp, and you could either put a left foot high and keep your right foot lower, or bring your right foot higher and do like a drop knee that locked you in that position. And then it's like a weird move that you needed to pull, but at the same time rotate your body, because the hole on the volume, you could either grab the hole and go gaston to the other hole, or mid grab and just hold the crimp and the volume. It was weird because you needed to rotate your body to make that mid grab work. If not, you could just like not hold it. Our idea with this climb was that it's going to be really hard for them, so we don't expect heaps of tops. Yes, and we wanted to bring like one of those climbs that it keeps the crowd standing up and shouting, because you could see the athletes trying hard. I think like we wanted that, to create a climb that you could see the emotions of what they were going through. Like I would love to see some shaky arms, some like insults when they fall, and a lot of cheering if someone tops.
You've also got the idea of everyone else pushing behind you. You don't know how the other competitors have gone, and you don't know what you need to do to essentially take the win on this one.
That's right, and essentially Liam's probably sat in isolation listening to the crowd and seeing that all the other male athletes have not come back early, which means no one's topped this, so he knows the top is super important.
That's true.
It was like massive holds, but none of them super positive in a roof. And you had to just like, it was just like the constant quest for opposition, because there was like no like lip on any of the holds. So you'd like make a move and then you'd have to do like 4 different foot movements, then you'd make another move and another 4 foot movements, and then you'd like be like, oh, should I go for the lip, should I go for the lip? And then like a lot of girls jumped for the lip too soon and obviously like came off. The lip was the zone. So yeah, I think they got a little bit of tunnel vision. Like there were so many ways you could get through that start bit, but none of them were super obvious. So it was always going to be like a matter of kind of like attempts on it.
Also just trying to find tension underneath the roof. Hasn't possibly secured the zone yet, going straight for a hold above the zone. Hips over to the zone. Mia latching the hold on the roof. Looking like a mean mantle up here for crimp.
Oh, Mel, come on. Mel looking so strong on that cut. Now she's got to keep it together for the top here.
And then the top section was a like mantle into a crimp, into like a high back step, or if they were super mobile, like front step.
There we go, Mel, like using the zone hold. If not secured before, definitely secured now. Great first attempt from Siobhan.
Is this the question? 10
I think so.
Oh, beautiful.
Great work from Siobhan.
Judith! Come on! Just the mantle to go. Everyone who's got to this point so far has topped, I think. Oh. Cruises it.
Great work from Judith. I'm interested to see how they go. Corey trying the static way on this boulder. We have tried multiple times to break this statically. It is quite hard, so we'll see how he goes. Oh, Corey staticking it. Oi. As I said, when you spent hours, but look, he did it well, so.
So yeah, it was like this big dynamic swing, but it was off a jug that kind of like sent you in the wrong direction. So like it wasn't just like a straightforward jump, it was like you really had to position your hips in the right way to be able to like land. Swinging off this massive jug to start, and then you're landing on a feature, getting a heel hook, and then landing on a really crappy volume, and that volume's only usable like once you've got your feet around the corner and you have something to oppose it. If you're trying to go from the start hold into it, it's just like nothing. You're just like punching at air, but as soon as you get that heel or toe around the corner, then you can like stick on it.
He's been on the jump. Come on, Ben. Oh!
Great work.
First try? Oh, so strong. Come on, Ben. The top is very hard. The holds are so bad.
He's kind of got himself stretched out here and needs to figure out how to bring his speed up.
The volumes to the left are out, if anyone was wondering. Told them that in the briefing. Come on, Ben. High point here. Near the top.
Yes.
Oh.
So close.
And Liam took the jump. Not clean, but he gets it done.
Probably couldn't hear from the live stream, but he probably hit about 4 different body parts on the wall securing that position.
Come on, Liam. This would be an awesome way to secure the win.